are going to continue working on our lab book. We are going to do our next observation. We just looked at our pumpkin. I'm getting my lab book ready. So again, here's our front. We've already done this, done a lot of our inside. We're going to be working on our middle observation right here. We already did, this was last week. If you remember, here was our barely 2 sprouts last week. This week, oh, it is heavy. Here we are. It's very exciting. Again, we talked last week. I normally, when I am doing writing, I would start with my writing first and then draw a picture. For our observations, I like to actually draw my picture first because I can see exactly what I'm looking at, and then it usually helps my brain decide, oh, this is what I want to write about. Our first thing we're going to do, this was last week, is we are going to write our dates. We're going to write October, it's still October, capital O, T, T, O, E, E, R. If you don't know how to spell it, we spelled it last week, it's right there. And today's date is October 18th. Would put the year if you wanted. I'm just going to write October 18th. If you're doing this on a different day, you can write down what the date is for you. So I have my date. My next step is I need to draw what I see. Remember, a scientist does not draw what they feel like, they draw what they are seeing and what they are looking at. Last week I used my pen so you could see. I think what I'm going to do this week, because I told you last week, I really would rather use pencil when I'm drawing, just because I know when I mess up, I want to be able to fix it, especially if I'm drawing something that I need to make look real. I want to be able to erase it. So what I'm going to do is use pencil first, and then I will go over it with the pen and then color. So I'm going to start with kind of the same shape because my pumpkin shell really hasn't changed. But so I'm going to do, actually, you know what? It's a good thing I use pencil. I'm just realizing I last week made this really, really, really big because there was really nothing happening. So I didn't need to show anything but these 2 tiny sprouts. I can't do that this week. I was going to copy that, but then I remembered my pumpkin looks way different, so I need to make it smaller. So I'm going to do the same shape, but smaller. Good thing I used that pencil today. So I'm making a U. I'm going to make kind of an oval. Almost looks like a cup. So here will be my outside. This is my inside. This is why I needed to make it a different size. I am very happy I used pencil again. I need to draw because today I have way more growing out of my pumpkin than I did last week. So I'm drawing 2 lines. This is one stem. I'm going to erase the inside of it right there because when I look at it, I can't see through my stem. And then my other one is pretty much right next to it. And I'm doing them a little curved because they are in the pumpkin a little curved. So I'm doing one, and then I just kind of do a little tiny space and I draw the same exact shape next to it. And again, I can't see through my stem, so right there, I'm going to erase it so I can't see through the pumpkin. My top parts, I need to draw the leaves. So these, it's almost like a J. If I were to flip my paper, it'd be a capital J almost. And then it goes up and then around a little bit. And that one looks a little bit different. That's just because I'm looking at it from the side. And then there's a little true leaf coming right here. So when I'm coloring, that part's going to be different. And then my other leaf that I see is almost like that pumpkin seed shape. So these are all going to be, these 2 will be the same color. This one's going to be different. Over here, this one will be a little bit easier because I do see the leaves a little different. So it's going to be pumpkin seed shape that's big, a pumpkin seed shape that's big, and then my true leaf, just kind of bumpy. So this one's going to be a different color. I also have a little tiny mushroom right here. And then, oh boy, this is where it's going to be a little bit difficult. We have one sprout. Okay. I have another one that has 2 leaves like this. And again, I'm erasing where the pumpkin goes through there. And then I have my little one that we can't really see. I'm going to have to really pay attention when I am coloring. And then one more. And this one's open again. Almost like the pumpkin seed shape's almost like a heart. So if you know how to draw a heart, you're gonna pretty much just draw a heart. Make the leaves in the seed shape. That's all it is. And again, we can't see through the leaves, so I'm going to erase those pencil lines. Alright, that's pretty much my pumpkin. The rest of it, I can add details with my colors. I am going to outline just so you can see what you should keep and what you should not. Another cool thing is if you decide to outline, I like to outline just because it makes it easier. You can see I can actually adjust things as I'm outlining too. Makes it easier for me to remember what I need to color. And then I also feel like I can erase the pencil line a little bit better when I outline, because I'm not worried about the other pencil lines disappearing. Hard part is trying to figure out where I outlined already. Okay, so I outlined. I'm going to dry for a minute. When you're erasing, I suggest just do a little bit at a time. Don't press super hard so we can rip our page. You can see, just go over it a few times. Also helps to brush off all your little pencil eraser shavings so you can see if that line erased or not. Let's see. I think, hope you can see right there. I didn't draw that line. So my next step is going to be to color. I'm going to pull out the colors I need. I actually am going to use my yellow just a little bit today on that new sprout. I need my dark green, I want my light green, definitely need brown. Actually, I think I'm going to do a little bit of black and maybe some gray. These are all for the insides of my pumpkin. And then I need the outside. I'm going to use, oh my goodness, if I could get it out. I'm going to use my peach or apricot just for a little bit. We talked about how there are parts of the pumpkin that are a little bit, ooh, that's a green yellow. I think I'm going to use that. Dried out, so I might use that. I don't know what color I want the outside to be yet, so I'm just going to pull out my oranges. I like to pull out my colors just so as I'm coloring, I tend to think of different colors if I want a different shade as I'm coloring. So instead of having to stop and look for it, I just pull them all out so they're right there for me. I like to kind of group them too by what they're used for. So these are going to be my outside. This is for my soil. And these are going to be my sprouts. I think I'm going to start with the sprouts, just so I can get that part's done, because those are going to take the most, I think. An interesting thing about the sprouts as you're coloring is the first leaves. ones that look like the seeds. They're actually a darker green than the stem and the true leaves. So I'm going to use my green for the leaves, for those seed leaves, the first ones. And then I'm not going to use them anymore, so I'm putting that back. I'm going to use, this is yellow green for my stem. And I'm going to kind of go up on these little ones and go over it with that color because it still has some of that color. They just get darker as they grow. This one, I guess I'll use the same one. It's hard because I feel like as the stems get a little bit bigger, they're not as green, but this is the lightest I have. So I'm going to do the same color, so my yellow green for my true leaf. And again, as I'm doing this, there are words that I'm thinking, oh yeah, I want to use that word when I'm writing, like true leaf. I'm gonna add a little bit of this is green yellow, so I just did yellow green. This is green yellow. This one actually has, when we look at it, so this is yellow green. This one, just looking at it, you can tell it's more yellow based. This one's more green based. So this one's a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna add it a little bit. And then I'm gonna use this yellow for this little tiny sprout right here because when I looked at it, it was yellow. I just realized I need my gray for my little mushroom guy right here. So I did all my leaves and my sprouts. Now I'm gonna do my soil. Actually, I'm not gonna do my soil. I'm gonna do the little parts that were tried out and lighter. And then I think I'm gonna do, what color is this? Orange. I'm gonna do the orange over it a little bit just for the some of the edge that we saw. I didn't see a lot of it. And then now I'm gonna do my soil. And I can overlap this. That's why I wanted to do my orange first. Because it does overlap. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing there's a little tiny spot right here that I did not outline. I am going to add gray to my soil because my soil is pretty dark right now. So I did brown first. I'm going to go over it with gray. And then I'm actually going to do, I think, just a little bit of black, just not coloring it super dark. Again, just to add it because it has a lot of different depth. So now my last part is going to be the outside of my pumpkin. I think I used this one last time, red orange. This is yellow orange. I'm going to do a mixture. I'm going to just do a light. Again, this one's yellow orange. And this one is red orange. If you have a pumpkin that is not orange, don't color it orange. Color yours to match your pumpkin. Yours has stripes on it that are different colors. Make sure to do that. Mine is just orange. So there is my outline or my image that I made. It looks pretty similar. Before I continue, I'm going to actually do my word bank. So I need to open this up. There are some words that I am going to want to write. I'm going to actually fold this in half and write down a few of our words that we might need. Last week when we wrote down some words, we did sprout, green, yellow, orange, inside. Different things that we may want to use this week. We're going to write true because that is what those big leaves are going to be called. So I'm going to write true, which is T-R-U-E. True. The U-E makes that oo sound. And then I'm going to write leaves. L-E-A. So we have O, E. The E and the A make the E sound. B, E. And at the end, it sounds like a Z, but it is an S. Leaves. Something else I'm going to write down, you may not have this, again, this is the first year I've had it, is mushroom. I have a mushroom in mine. So this is a compound word. It's two words put together. So it's mush and room. So M, A, U, sh, SH, and then room. And then this is tricky. It goes, ooh is our O, like in boo. And then mushroom. M-U-S-H-R-O-O-M. We have, I'm trying to think, what other words are we going to need? Our mushroom. You know, a word we might need today that we haven't done yet is the word stem. So stem is the part of the plant that grows tall and the leaves are on top of it. So it's st, S-T-E-M, stem. We have the word soil already. We have our colors. I don't think there's really anything else we might need. So let's go ahead. I'm going to flip this back over. And I'm going to open up that second flap. And we're going to write our observation. If you don't remember, last week, when this was our picture, it says, the pumpkin has two sprouts. The sprouts are a yellow-green color. The soil is moving inside the pumpkin. We have a lot to add today. So why don't we start with how many sprouts do we have? If you remember, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 down here, and then 2 really big ones. So we have, I'm going to say the, so capital T, beginning of a sentence, H-E, the space, pumpkin, and if you don't remember how to spell it, it's right here. P-U-M-P-K-I-N, has, H-A-S, 6. So we're going to spell out the word 6. S-I-I, and then X, X. One of those words we actually get to use an X in. Has 6 sprouts. Over there, I had the word sprout. I wrote it down last time. But I don't want to say the pumpkin has 6 sprouts. I want to say sprouts. So all I'm going to do is put an S, and then I'm going to end my sentence with that period. If your sentence continues on, that's fine. If you can't fit it all on this line, just keep writing down on this line. I also want to say something special about it this time is it has true leaves. So we can say the, again, starting with a capital T, beginning of a sentence, the sprouts and then I'm going to say are, A-R-E, not just the letter R. And we're going to write the word getting. This one's a little bit hard because I need to add ing. It's a little bit tricky on getting. So we're going to write the word get, G-E-T. And something interesting about this is we actually need to double this T. So add another T, G-E-T, and then ing, I-N-G. Okay, so I'm going to say the sprouts are getting, and I want to say there. And this kind of there means it belongs to them. So we're going to do T-H-E. You ready? I-R. There. True. Do you guys see how I couldn't fit it all on this line? And that's fine. So I'm going to go down here, true. And over here I wrote a T-R-U-E. And then leaves, which is also right there. So exciting. I'm going to get an exclamation point because I am so excited for it. And I'm going to say my pumpkin has a mushroom. Where's my not? My, so capital M, do you guys see this space? Capital M-Y. My pumpkin has a mushroom. So cute. Probably don't want to eat this mushroom though. Period. I had a really tiny sentence I could write, but I feel like 3 sentences is good, so I'm going to leave it there. I cannot wait until next week for this one. I'm so excited. I'm predicting we're going to have a lot more sprouts and stems happening. I think more stems and stems are going to look like this, where they're going to be really big. I think my prediction is that there are going to be more sprouts, so we'll have more than 6. And I'm really hoping we get a lot more true leaves and that they get bigger. Very excited to see it. I'm wondering if maybe our shell will look different next week. Who knows? All right. We're going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to do our last section of our lap book, besides our lap observation. And it's going to go right here. So I'm going to actually work on the life cycle of the pumpkin next. Don't forget to come back and check on the growth of our pumpkin and to see how big it is getting. Very exciting. So don't forget to come back, check back, and to see how big our pumpkin is getting.